Hello Capricorn, welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree and today I'll be doing your monthly reading for the month of September 2024. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I want to say hello and welcome. I'm your favorite tarot reader on YouTube and I do these readings each and every month. And I would love to share your tarot insights with you. Also, I go live 2 times a week, every Monday, every Friday. So if this reading is not specific enough for you and you have a specific question you'd like to ask me about your specific situation, join me on Monday or Friday and you can ask me your question live. Yes, I'll pull some cards for you. All right, for the readings this month, I'm using my Groovy Waite tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider Waite tarot. Then I will close out your reading, Capricorn, with a Healing Oracle crystal card. All right. Okay, so you got some interesting cards, Capricorn. But you've got like 2 extreme cards here. Why do I say extreme? Because you got the Tower, then you got the Sun, then you've got Eight of Swords, 7 of Wands. Okay, so here's what's going on. Capricorn, a lot of people are watching you. A lot of people are impressed by what you do. And here's the thing, some people are very threatened by that, Capricorn. Why? Because that's just human nature. You know, we can't control why someone's jealous, envious, threatened, whatever. And I feel like that's kind of what you're dealing with here because you're attracting a lot of attention. Money is actually working out quite well for you. I mean, the money situation is good, right? Things are getting better. It may not be where you want it to be, but things are going really, really well. But then we have this Tower card. Remember, the Tower card talks about something that needs to be redone, something that needs to start over, something that needs to be literally torn down, taken apart, restarted. And when you do that, though, things fall into place quite beautifully because that Sun card really is saying, hey, this is what you need to do. All right, Capricorn. So like I said, somebody's feeling threatened because things are going so well for you. And you may need to restructure that whole relationship or connection, whatever it is. Because things are going to continue to happen for you in a very positive way. And even though you have to deal with this for a little bit, the Sun card says it's not over. Your good is not stopping. Your good is not limited. More is on the way. How much can you handle? How much can you make room for is what I'm picking up, especially looking at these 2 cards here. Because this 8 of Swords is about self-imposed beliefs, self-imposed limitations. So it's only about what can you handle? What are you available for? What can you embrace, right? What can you tolerate? All right, then we got this 7 of Wands. Everyone's going to be coming at you, making demands, asking questions, wanting an explanation, wanting your time, wanting your attention, wanting access to you. Doesn't mean that they're entitled to it. But sometimes when your star is shining so bright, like it is, you know, and you're clearing space, making room, people think they're entitled to you, your opinion, your attention, your thoughts, whatever. All right, Capricorn, so this is a very unique situation. It's almost like a good problem to have. Why? Because the good's not stopping. However, there's people in your life who can't handle you having all the good. Really, they can't handle it. They can't handle you having all the good. And so that's not your fault. However, you have to deal with people, other people's insecurities, unfortunately. All right, so I'm just saying, Capricorn, prepare, right? Prepare for people feeling some type of way because of what you got going on. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you from getting what's yours. All right, what else do we need to know for the sign of Capricorn for the month of September 2024? Okay. All right, so we got that Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups means that you have some offers coming your way, and I feel like those are just distractions. So don't worry if you have to say no, if they don't resonate, or if they're not in alignment with what you're trying to do. I feel like this is something work, money, or business related for a lot of you. All right, next up, we got the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Again, this tells me multiple offers are coming in. Not all of them are going to resonate. Not all of them are even going to make sense. Not all of them are going to be your jam. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to be selective, very decisive here, all right? Because you do have some offers coming in. And like I said, I feel like these are work related. I feel like these are business related for some of you. Some of you who go to school, this is even going to be something that affects you, school related. You know, maybe they're offering you an alternative class or something like that, and you're just like, no, I don't want that. Okay, so I have a feeling you're going to have to say no to something because someone's going to try and say, hey, take this. This is a good idea. And you're going to be like, no, it's really not. All right, next up, we do have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card about stepping back, disconnecting, maybe separating from something because you need to figure out exactly what it is that you're going to do next. Because like I said, you have a lot of good things coming your way, Capricorn. And sometimes we need a little break to process all of this, right? We need to figure out what's next. How are we going to handle this? What are we going to do then? What are we going to do with that, you know? So don't be afraid to separate and disconnect for a little while because you're going to find that you need that break and you need that clarity and you need that space. All right, we also have the Chariot card. The Chariot card talks about a lot of things happening at once. However, when he shows up in the reverse, this means that you may not be able to keep up, right? Sometimes we have a lot of things going on and we're trying to make it all happen and we may not necessarily be able to maintain that, all right? And maybe it's not even realistic to think that we can. All right, the other aspect about the Chariot is that it means that instead of focusing your attention and your time and your energy on multiple things, you actually get really streamlined and really focused and you say, hey, I'm going to focus on this thing because this is the one that's going to make me the most money. This is the thing that brings me the most joy. This is the thing that I want to do right now at this stage in my life. All right, so don't be afraid to narrow your focus down because sometimes that's exactly what we need to do. Finally, we got that Six of Swords. Six of Swords is the travel card. This means that you may be going somewhere very, very soon. This could be anything from like a major vacation, or it could be just like a little weekend getaway, maybe a little road trip or something like that. All right, now, either travel happens in that second week of September or you start thinking and planning about future travel. You know, maybe you start booking your flights or, you know, booking hotels or whatever the case may be. All right. Or you start looking at the calendar and start figuring out, okay, where can I, you know, where do I have time to take this vacation or where, you know, how is this going to work with my schedule, that type of thing. All right, but there's definitely some travel on the horizon for you, Capricorn. All right, let's see what else is showing up for Capricorn for the month of September 2024. All right. Okay, so we've got a lot going on. So the second half of the month, you're going to be even busier with work. That's what I'm picking up, especially with this card here. King of Pentacles, that's that financial literacy card. Looks like you're going to have to make some decisions and some plans as it as it relates to your financial well-being, the overall picture here. We're talking about big picture here. What are the big goals as it relates to money? Okay, you're going to be working on that in the second half of September. I have a feeling you're going to start planning for 2025 once we hit the second half of September, as it relates to finances, as it relates to money, savings, investings, business, all of that stuff. All right, so like I said, you're going to be really busy here. The Nine of Swords talks about feeling a little sleepless nights, a little bit of worry, a little bit of anxiety. Now, that Nine of Swords, sometimes that card will come up when we're worried about something that we can't control. You know, this could be other people, it could be certain situations, it could be whatever. All right, so really examine what's keeping you up at night, Capricorn, and is it something that you really want to be awake late at night thinking about? And I feel like for some of you, this is a person. This is a person, somebody you're worried about, but you have no control over the situation. And I feel like for some of you, this is your children even. Like you're worried about your children in some way. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, whether they're young or grown, whatever. You know, you never stop worrying about your kids or thinking about them, you know, and making, you know, wanting to make sure that they're okay. All right, so that's what we got going on there. Let's get back to the Hangman, because we talked about this. Now the Hangman is all about making a sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice some things in order to get what you want. But again, when do we not have to make a sacrifice? It seems like life is just one big sacrifice after another, right? We have to go to work. We have to pay bills. We have to buy certain things, right? And it's always like we have to do some type of sacrificial exchange in some way. All right, so the Hangman talks about self-sacrifice. That the Hangman also talks about sometimes just being stagnant and not making any decisions, or making the decision to not do anything or to not change your situation for the better or for the worse. All right, so the Hangman isn't always such a profound card in that aspect, but it is a card that calls things to your attention. It means you need to pay attention as to what exactly are you doing in order to create the life you want. Are you unconsciously creating a life you don't want because you're not putting things aside that need to be put aside, at least for the time being? Next up, we got the King of Wands. This means somebody is watching you. However, this person may feel a little threatened, jealous, upset. Kind of like what we talked about here at the beginning of your reading, right? Somebody feeling envious, somebody feeling jealous, somebody not happy for all the good that's going on in your life. I feel like that kind of continues into the second half of the month. However, it's to a lesser degree here. It's not anything that's going to disrupt what you got going on. All right, Capricorn, it's just something that's kind of annoying. Finally, we've got that Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card that talks about stability. Things really kind of get solidified for you once we hit the second half of September. All right, because the Four of Wands, not only is it the card of things being very, very stable, solid, and grounded, it's also the marriage card. And yes, it could mean matrimony, like in a relationship, but it's also the coming together of things in a very solid, good, stable way, right? Things really just falling into place better than what you could have anticipated. All right, so it's a really good card. It's a really good card to see in any position in your reading. All right, Capricorn, let's see what else shows up for you for the month of September 2024. All right, so, whoa. Oh, we got some really good cards here. All right, so Capricorn, like I said, I'm already picking up there's going to be some changes. I'm picking up there's a work relationship that's changing with this card here. The dynamics of a work relationship is changing in some way. Now, I have a feeling this is something that you see or saw coming. But don't take it personal. Don't take it personal is what I'm getting with this. Next up, we do have the Moon card. The Moon card means that there is something that you just don't know, or you don't know what you don't know. And it's okay. Really, it's okay. It's okay. All right, the Moon card means that you don't have all of the information, but that's not enough to stop you from taking action or getting what you want. But understand that there could be some more questions you need to ask. There could be some more time that you need to do some research so you can be even more informed as it relates to this particular situation. Now, what is this situation? For some of you, this is going to be work. Some of you, this is going to be just life in general. There's something you're doing that you don't necessarily have all the answers for. And so this card is telling me to tell you to give pause and maybe see what more information you can find out about whatever the situation is. All right, like I said, it could be a relationship. It could be some of you buying a house. It could be some of you trying to find a new job or relocating, whatever. All right, but make sure you ask more questions, okay? You can never have too much information. Next up, we do have the Three of Swords in the reverse. That's a great card to see in the reverse because this talks about healing, forgiveness, letting go of something. I feel like this is related to this card here. Remember, I talked about like a professional relationship kind of, you know, not necessarily that it's going sour, but, you know, sometimes you just kind of drift apart. All right, next up, we got the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, this is the breakthrough card. This is also the card that talks about finding the best success, the biggest wins by letting go of something, cutting something off. There's something you need to say no to, Capricorn. And when you say no to whatever that thing is, you're going to win huge, like huge. All right, so don't be afraid to cut something off or to say no because you're going to win when you do. Next up, we got the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups in the reverse talks about changes to an event that is happening. So whenever I see this card, this usually means there's going to be some changes to something that's already pre-scheduled. You know, like maybe the time change, maybe the location changed, maybe it gets postponed, delayed, or something like that. So it's kind of like giving you a heads up. Hey, if there's a party going on, you know, there may be some changes, or, you know, make sure you check the email again or check the invitation again to make sure you got all the information right because something could change. Now we do have the Devil card, then we got the Ace of Cups. The Devil card is the card that talks about unhealthy attachments. Now this card again is another heads up, bringing something to our attention card. You have an unhealthy attachment to something. It's also the card of self-sabotage. Realize that a lot of times you could be your own worst enemy. You could be getting in your own way. You could be holding yourself back. Now, the Devil card also talks about sometimes we have inner demons that we're dealing with. This could be addictions. This could be abuse in some cases. All right, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. Pay attention to whenever the Devil card shows up because sometimes he's warning us about something. Finally, we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a card that talks about new relationships, new beginnings, having more than enough. All right, I do believe that a new relationship is on the horizon for a lot of you Capricorns. And I feel like this is something romantic. So if you're already involved, this may not pertain to you. But if you're dating, don't be surprised if your relationship goes to the next level towards the end of the month. All right. So Capricorn, like I said at the beginning of your reading, somebody can't handle all the good that's coming your way. But again, that's not your problem. All right, so let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Healing Oracle crystal card. Ooh, one of my favorites, clear quartz. All right, clear quartz. This is the card of purification. Yes, this is exactly what we need to focus on for the month of September. Purifying ourselves, purifying our environment in any way we can. Like we talked about, sometimes it's about disconnecting. Sometimes it's about letting things go. Sometimes it's about saying no or cutting something off. All right, whatever you need to do to purify your life focus on that for September. All right, Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Make sure you join me on Mondays and Fridays for my lives where you can ask me anything.